Got me up against the fence, back against the wall. Get to acting like a fool. Ain't no justice for the dog. Got to take it out on all y'all. Better read the papers on my homies going crazy. Baby, only got my papers. Got my mom and coming. See, hurry, see, I ain't worried. It's a gangster party. So bad boy getting buried. Snoop Dogg, why they fantasize? When we ride, it's a must have a seven die. Every time.
Yes, y'all. Not show, but Snoop Dogg. And you know it's like that, y'all. I'm so smooth about my paper. Check it this out.
What's up, man?
Keeks?
Here we are back to Elevated Thoughts with Keeks
and Fiji.
And we're going to have another episode here on February 20th. We did it on the Wednesday this time.
On the Wednesday, episode 5, season 2 of Elevated Thoughts with Keeks and Fiji. Bigger, badder, and stronger.
Hell yeah, it's going to be a good one. And on today's show, we're going to have our top 5 plus 1, where we're going to be talking about the largest contracts in sports history.
Biggest contracts.
The biggest contracts in sports history.
Same thing, largest, biggest contract,
yes.
Same thing, you know. So we'll be talking about the biggest sports contracts of all time here on the next segment.
Yes, and also we'll be having our Keeks and Fiji plus 1, where we'll be bringing in SHAWN, and he's going to have, what did he say? It was buttered rum?
Hot buttered rum.
Hot buttered rum. We'll see.
Yeah, stay tuned.
We'll see
stay
what it
tuned
brings
on that
us.
segment there for that one.
We'll also be having our and one segment where we'll be talking about the NBA All-Star Weekend. Yeah. That was a pretty good weekend, right?
Oh, it was a pretty good weekend. We'll be going over our winners and losers of NBA All-Star Weekend.
Yes.
And it was a great weekend. I spent it in Eugene, Oregon watching that festivity, so I'll dive into that later on that segment.
And we'll also be talking about the AAF and something about
going broke?
Their money issues.
Yeah,
so,
already, huh? Second week already.
Second week. Hey, but you know, that's what happens though. But we'll stay tuned and find out. Maybe somebody got him out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know,
let's hope so, huh?
Yeah. Also, we'll be having our, let's see, the one that got away. We'll also be talking about MANNY Machado and BRYCE HARPER and a little bit of baseball, you know?
Yeah,
baseball
right around the corner. You know, from now on, we're going to have baseball spring training. Spring games already starting this Saturday. Dodgers playing the White Sox.
Yes, baseball
already, man. Wow.
We are excited about baseball. It's going to be a good season ahead of us. Go Giants.
Go Dodgers.
So, yeah, there we go. We'll also have our elevated thought of the day. Stay tuned for that one as well. Here on Elevated Thoughts with Keeks
and Fiji.
Stay tuned.
Been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. Let's get loot like Snoop nephew.
Fun, man. You gotta have that West Coast fun. You gotta keep it West Coast.
Hell yeah. But here we are coming back on Elevated Thoughts with Keeks
and Fiji, episode 5, season 2. Bigger, badder, stronger.
Yeah, of course. And here we are coming at you with the top 5 plus 1. So go ahead, Fiji, take it away.
Top 5 plus 1 biggest sports contracts of all time. Inspired by, as we know, Manny Machado, who just signed with the San Diego Padres for 10 years, $300 million.
Cool 300 mil.
A cool 300 mil. I like that, you know. Now, with that being said, you know, Bryce Harper is still on the market. Let's see what he signed up for.
Yeah, we'll be bringing that out later on in this episode.
Exactly. So we'll get through that later. However, let's get to the top 5 plus 1 biggest sports contracts of all times. Starting with my number 5, when Miggy Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers signed his 8-year extension worth $248 million. That's a lot of money, huh, Keeks?
Oh, wow. And that's just an extension, too.
And that's just an extension. The manifest is a flat-out contract.
Yeah. Oh, that's what they're coming out with now, right?
Exactly. For straight-up contracts, you know?
Yeah, but it was a long time ago. Right?
That was what? Yeah, that was what? 2012, 13, 14, around that area?
Yeah, you see, times change now. A 10-year contract is a 10-year contract. I know that it's a lot of time, but 300 mil, you know, pretty much. I think that's what the final contract was in the final.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, getting that paid that much to play the sport you love is priceless.
Wow. At that point, money's not even relevant.
Exactly. Money's not relevant. It's like, yeah, you want to pay me that amount? Okay, I'll take it. Just tell me where to sign, you know? All right, now moving on to number 4 of the biggest sports contract of all times. Moving on to another baseball player by the name of Alex Rodriguez.
Ooh, A-Rod.
A-Rod, you know, still, you know, working the camera, we're looking good at working for Fox Sports, you know, and I have him down for 2 of the biggest sports contracts ever signed.
Yeah, he signed 2 10-year contracts, didn't he?
In the year 2000, he signed with the Texas Rangers for 10 years, $252 million. And that was a straight-up contract, not an extension.
Those were the big contract. I remember that.
That was one of the first big ones, exactly.
Yeah, that was one of the ones.
Yeah, that was one of the big ones where I was like, whoa, just for baseball?
Nah, it's not just baseball. I mean, it's a craft. A-Rod was good.
Yeah.
He did use steroids and later on in his life, but he was really good. A-Rod at his prime.
He was good. You know, he was the next boy wonder. He was playing underneath Ken Griffey Jr. with Seattle. And that's when Texas said, you know what? We're going to snag him off of you because we got money and you guys don't.
Yeah, and that's what he went to. He went to the money, and he didn't really get much out of it, but he ended up, it was pretty much like a little audition for the Yankees, because he ended up on the Yankees, which is the next one, right?
Yeah, in 2008, he signed another 10-year contract with the Yankees for, this time, $275 million.
He had to top his first one.
Yeah, $23 million more, playing for one of the greatest baseball franchises of all time.
And winning World Series, too.
Yeah, he won 2 of them with
He was a champion.
Yeah.
He was a champion.
So he won with them. Doesn't matter, steroids or not. Got caught. Doesn't matter to him. He's a World Series champion.
So you think he's a Hall of Famer?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, just because of the fact that
the steroids, right? I mean,
he got caught cheating.
It is what it is.
You know, but at the same time, that was an era in baseball to where steroids was accepted because it continued the baseball legacy. You know, because baseball ratings during in the late 1990s, they were dropping. And because of the home run race of Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, ratings elevated through the roof for baseball.
Baseball's one of those things where you gotta actually love the sport and watch it every day. I remember going into the living room as a kid, even growing up, and my dad would always be watching the Giants
baseball,
game, you know? It'd always be on TV, and sometimes I'd sit on the couch and I'd watch it with him. And sometimes I would just, you know, do my thing and just go do whatever. But he'd always be on the couch watching the Giants game, regardless of anything. Like, he's a diehard Giants fan, and that's one of the things. Not even Giants fan. I think he's just a big diehard baseball fan. Like, that's how much he loves the sport, that he'll watch it every day.
Yeah, and he'll keep up with all the, you know, top players.
He knows who the good players are. Exactly. He knows who's hurt. He knows who's coming in. He knows it all, and it's
very informative. You got to be very informative, and you got to stay on top because baseball. There's a lot of baseball transactions.
There's a lot of things going on in baseball. Yeah.
And if you ever played,
you know they're changing the DL list to the IL list now.
Oh, really?
Have you heard about that?
No.
It's no longer the disabled list. They're changing it to the injured list.
Yeah. Disabled is just one of those words where...
Yeah, it just triggers people, I guess. I don't know. The thing is that they're changing it from the disabled list to the injured list. So that's a little fun fact for baseball right there. All right, let's get back to this top 5. Yeah. So A-Rod got 2 contracts, 2 big 10-year contracts.
Yeah, 2 big year 10 contracts, land him in the 4th spot. I think I'm going to go ahead and take my break here and add my +1.
Oh, you're throwing your +1,
and my +1.
Throw it in early. I feel like it's a little mix. Like, every so often, he'll just mix it up and throw it in into that one.
I have to, though,
I like it.
So does it keep
me on my toes? Exactly. Keep you guys on your toes?
So does it make it all, you know, boring and monotonous? And it's like, come on, man, just get to number 1 already.
Yeah.
So my +1 here is actually the NBA's biggest sports contract right now for that respective league, which belongs to James Harden.
Ooh, wow. There's an NBA player in the top 5. Or top 6, I should say, right?
Yeah, he's my +1.
Yeah, top 5
He's my +1 just because he has the NBA's biggest contract. In 2017, he signed a 4-year extension worth $228 million.
Ooh, flossing that money.
Yeah.
Basketball players floss the best.
Yes, they do.
I love them. I love their style and their swagger and just like... Oh, I love it. Basketball players, man, they know how to spend their money wisely.
And they definitely know how to put on a great All-Star weekend.
It was
they're all good. And, you know, all the celebrities are involved. Yeah. You should have checked them out in the Slam Dunk contest. Celebrities will be pulled here and there. We'll get to it in our next segment or later on in the show, so stay tuned on that. And
so James Harden, of course, yeah, it was a good extension. All right, moving on.
Yeah, so James Harden, Congratulations to you. I'm pretty sure there'll be bigger contracts in the NBA. We're at more than his. So moving on to number 3, that's where I put Manny Machado. His contract for 10 years, $300 million.
$300 million. That's a pretty penny, especially nowadays. You know, in today's
Chasing the money, just like you said earlier.
Yeah,
He chased the money.
And be careful for those Padres next year too. They got a good starting lineup. So Manny Machado is just adding fire.
I'm gonna say right now. NL West again is gonna have the best baseball division this year.
We've always had it.
Yeah.
We've had it for the last decade. Mm-hmm. The Giants started off by being top dogs, winning a couple championships.
The Dodgers always won the division.
Have always been there. And then the Padres have always been hanging out. The Rockies don't count out the Rockies. Actually, the Padres, I would say they're probably the least in the West.
Yeah.
But now that
they're making moves.
They made moves, exactly. So watch out for the Padres.
Yeah, so Manny Machado, congrats to you and your money. You know, I hope, you know, it brings you, these next 10 years in San Diego, brings you, you know, wealth and good fortune. Number 2 on my list, of my top 5 plus 1 biggest sports contracts of all time, another baseball player, man.
Oh, wow.
Another baseball player,
How many
man.
is that? Every single one?
Everyone except for an honorable mention.
Yeah, except James Harden. So you got 4 baseball players and a basketball player.
Yeah.
Okay. So my guess would be that number 1 would probably be a baseball player, but we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. I'll let you know. I'm pretty sure it is, but we'll get there. But number 2, Giancarlo Stanton, when he signed a 13-year, $325 million with the Miami Marlins that was shipped out last year to the New York Yankees.
Oh, so he's keeping his contract?
Yeah, contract. Hey, the Miami's like, Derek Jeter went in, cleaned house, and the first contract he got rid of was this bulk of 13 years, $325 million.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, he's gonna do a lot better, I think, with the Yankees. He might get a championship or 2.
Yeah, let's see. Him and Aaron
see.
Judge.
It's gonna be tough. The National League, you know, and even the American League too. They got a battle going on there too.
Yeah, that's where they're at. You know, Boston.
But the National League, I feel, is gonna win the World Series this year. That's my bold prediction. Elevated thoughts with Keeks and Fiji.
Hope it's the Dodgers too, but we'll see what happens.
We know what the Dodgers do.
In a row.
We know what the Dodgers do.
But we'll see what happens. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, all right, let's get to it. Number 1, huh?
Number 1 is another baseball player. No, it's not. Let's pump the brakes. It's not a baseball player.
And who is it?
It's actually a boxer.
Ooh.
By the name of Canelo Alvarez.
Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Who signed with DAZN, which is a London-based video streaming service company. He signed an 11-fight contract worth $365 million.
Wow. I don't even know how to fathom that. 11 fights?
Yeah.
11 12-round fights.
Yeah.
He literally only has to go 11 12-round fights to get 370, how much?
$365 million, and that's excluding all of the different sponsorship opportunities and advertising that he has.
On the side?
On the side.
Wow.
All these players, that's not including advertising.
That is, yeah, but still, even that much money just for that much amount of time. Like, I know they train hard. I know boxers train hard. I'm not saying boxers don't train hard, but they only train hard for fights. So they got a lot of time off in between fights, right? So 11 fights spanned out over probably 5 years for $365 million.
I mean,
wow.
they put their body in great dangers. I mean, every hit could be that one hit that could potentially...
Yeah, I hear a lot of complaints of migraines and headaches from boxers. I mean, it makes sense, right? You're getting hit in the head all the damn time, but it is a great sport. It's always been one of my favorite sports, so I'm really happy that boxing makes that kind of money.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that there aren't any football contracts here.
I would probably say, what about Mayweather? Mayweather doesn't make contracts because he's his own promoter.
Exactly. He just does his own thing.
I would say probably Mayweather's the top.
He hustles on the side here. I'll make this, and I'll make that. Contract-wise, though, these gentlemen that I just listed, they have great agents. The top dollars.
Top 5 plus 1.
So that concludes my top 5 plus 1 biggest sports contracts of all time.
All right, guys, stay tuned for our next segment. We're going to have Keeks and Fiji plus 1. where we'll be bringing in Sean, and he's got a surprise for us, some hot buttered rum.
I'm anxious to try this out, so stay tuned. Next time, we'll have our drinks in our hands. That's for sure.
Cheers, guys. Hey, what's up, guys? Here we are coming back on Elevated Thoughts with Keeks, Fiji, and we got Sean, our beer and spirit connoisseur. And today's coming in with the drink he calls a hot buttered rum. So go ahead, let us know what it's all about.
Hot buttered rum is a drink for the winter. It is freezing out here right now, and last week inspired me to bring this in because it has been cold for about 2 weeks here in northern Nevada.
And it has snowed. Hold on, let me stop you real quick. This is one of the best drinks I've ever had that involves liquor and it being a warm beverage.
Yeah.
Straight up. I used to like Irish coffees, but now I like hot buttered rum.
Oh, I still love Irish coffees, but
Yes,
this is a
that is
drink
true.
that goes back in American roots, back to colonial times.
Colonial times.
Colonial
Oh,
times.
damn.
American families used to each have their own recipe for this drink.
Uh-huh.
A hot buttered rum is a simple recipe. You heat up some butter, you put in a sweetener, usually sugar. You put in a few spices, like the type you put in pies, like cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves. You put in that type of stuff, you mix it together, and you let it settle for a while. You put it in a drink, you pour some hot water on it, you mix it together with some dark rum. Today I brought in Myers dark rum. It's a very common dark rum that you'll find pretty much at any store.
Jamaican, correct?
It is Jamaican dark rum.
Yeah, Jamaican dark rum, yeah.
Dark rums, there's a lot of different types of rums. There's the light rums, there's the dark rums, there's the spice rums.
And then there's Flor de Caña, don't forget about that.
Which
the
is
best
a
rum in the
premium
world.
rum. Oh yeah, it's a fantastic rum.
Okay,
And they
sorry,
do
sorry,
light and
throw that
dark.
in there.
I'm
Anyway.
pretty sure we'll preview that on
We'll do that
later
in the
show.
summertime.
Yeah,
We'll do that in the
yeah.
summertime.
Oh, we will.
We'll do it on the rocks. That's my favorite. That's my preference.
I love it neat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
It's
like
a good
some
rum. Anyway, a dark rum, there's nothing... it's very easy to distinguish dark rum. It's noticeably darker than the light or the gold rums that you normally see. It's going to be a brown, black, or red. And it's used making caramelized sugar or molasses, and it's generally aged longer in a charred barrel. So you can find a few different types of these. This is just the most common type, so I picked it up. It's 40%. It's about $20 for a 750 milliliter bottle. It goes good with a lot of mixed drinks. I don't really like Myers on its own, but it's a great mixer. Anyway, so hot buttered rum. As I said, the ingredients are very simple. You could do the butter and you could do your own spices and everything. Everyone used to do their own. I would do that here, but we don't have a little stove out here, so I just picked up a Harvey's hot buttered rum mix.
And you can pick it up anywhere,
Oh,
any
let me
store,
check
right?
that out. Oh, that's nice.
Can you pick it up in any grocery store or?
It kind of depends, region to region. I mean, I used to find hot buttered rum mix in a lot of places. Right now, I can only find hot buttered rum mix at my local liquor store.
See, I never heard of it, so I'm like, okay, you can find it at a liquor store. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And Harvey's, it's made in Washington here in the United States. It's got kind of all the same beats I was hitting earlier. It's got butter, it's got sugar, it's got their own little spices and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a tablespoon or two of
Go
this.
ahead, let me get out of your way here, Sean.
That's
Do your
alright.
thing. Do your thing, man.
Can't wait to get a piece of this on my own. I was trying this stuff out earlier.
I'll be right back.
So, can you eat that on your own? Can you eat it on its own, should I say?
You can. This is
Okay.
non-alcoholic and it's just butter and sugar and stuff. It's like eating cookie or pie mix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, can you actually bake this stuff?
You can. You could put it in rum cakes, that sort of thing. Give
Oh,
it that
shit.
extra seasoning.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I mean, I tried it off. I tried it off on its own, off camera, and it's
Sorry
pretty
for
fucking
that,
tasty.
guys.
No
Make a little
worries.
trip outside.
It's pretty fucking tasty,
worries.
man.
So I got my tablespoon or two of the mix in my cup here. Enrique has been kind enough to give me some boiled water in this little canister here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in my cup.
Nice pouring technique, my friend. Ooh,
That is
watch
nice,
yourself
that is
there.
Maybe a little too much.
Let me get this out of the
You
way.
got a little
here for
excited
you.
there? You
I've
got a
got-
little excited there?
I've got my mother here, so I'm just going to go ahead and mash it in there, make sure it gets mixed.
Oh, you're mixing the butter at the bottom, huh?
Yep. Just going to go ahead and
can I put a little bit more?
give a little twist and mash around the hot butter drum.
Keeks, if you don't mind.
You want some too? Yeah.
And when you're
mixes.
And when you're mixing this, make sure you try it out a little bit on its own. Yeah, put in that first tablespoon, kind of see the consistency. Give it a little
Put
sip.
that glop right in there.
I'm going to see what mine tastes like right now.
What a guy.
What a guy.
I think mine is perfect. So I'm just going to keep muddling it here for a second.
Huh?
Then I'm going to add my usual 1 to 2 ounces of rum, which I usually measure just 2 fingers of alcohol.
Why don't you add a little bit of rum on this bad boy too? Huh?
More than welcome to.
Perfect. Right there, my man.
I already snuck some in, man.
Exactly, right? Why not? If you're pouring it, why
this
not?
Is a drink
Cheers,
for,
huh?
This is a drink for you. Make it how you like it. Go ahead and give it as many taste tests as you need. Add as you need. Do whatever you need to make this how you want it. Yeah.
How do you want it? Just like Tupac said it the
How
best,
does
huh?
it feel?
I'm just going to go ahead and stir this up now. Get it until it's this nice dark color. Kind of looks like coffee.
It does. It kind of looks like this drink that my grandma used to make me, made out of cinnamon sticks. We called it canela.
Oh yeah.
And she added that with a little bit of sugar, and then she topped it off with a little bit of milk.
Ooh.
And that drink every time put me to sleep like a little.
You know, the English from
same.
England, they drink, they put milk in their tea. So
Yeah.
sounds about.
I don't see why you can't add milk to this.
No, that's what I'm saying. It sounds a lot. You know?
Oh, cheers, by the way.
Hey, salute, guys.
Salute. Thank
Salute.
you for the drink.
Lancha, guys. Hey, thank you once again, Sean, for the hot buttered rum. We're gonna have a good time drinking this, keeping this warm. I am 10 times warmer than I was before this drink.
Absolutely.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a cold Nevada day, morning type of drink to where it will warm me the fuck up.
Well, that's one of the things I was saying. Like, I used to drink Irish coffees for Nevada Day. Start the day off with a good Irish coffee. But now I'm gonna make my own batch of hot butter rum and put it in one of these bad boys.
And
right
just
here.
drink that throughout the parade,
yeah,
right?
it's gonna be good.
Hell
man.
yeah, that's
just
great
keep filling
drinking
up
at
your
its
mug.
best right there.
Keep it nice and warm, and then just keep this mug nice and filled up the whole time while I'm sitting down watching the parade. Hey, Nevada Day, baby. That's what it's about. Battleborn.
Keep it West Coast.
Only a few months away. But speaking of Irish coffees, though, I figure since March is starting here soon, I'll bring that in.
That's good too. I'm not knocking Irish coffee. I'm just saying I have found something that I really like too. You know, that is really good. I like it.
See, I'm not a fan of hot alcoholic beverages, but this one right here,
I'm all about changing your mind with this segment.
Exactly, and that's
Knocks
why.
it out the park.
Yeah, and that's why every time I come to this segment, I always feel enlightened after every segment.
Yeah, I know.
So,
we
I
hope you
appreciate
are
that.
too. We hope you are too.
No worries.
Exactly.
We hope you learn different recipes from our beer and spirit connoisseur. That's what we have them, right? We
I have to be good for something. I have to be
Yes,
good.
we appreciate that, man.
All right, Sean. Anything else you would like to add before we move on to our next segment?
No, just it's a simple list of ingredients, simple recipe to make, and it'll keep your soul warm throughout the winter. So
Ooh,
enjoy.
yes, that's for sure.
And you can make this butter on your own, right? You can make your own
You
recipe.
can make your own recipe.
You can,
Yeah.
yeah.
Throw a
yet
little
again,
bit of brown sugar, a little bit of butter, right?
butter, sugar, spices, however you want to do it. White sugar, brown sugar, whatever you think is best, whatever adjusts to your taste.
Yeah. All right, guys. All right, salute to the whole world.
So,
Hey,
Thank you.
cheers.
Elevated Thoughts with Keeks, Fiji, and our +1 today, Sean. Salute.
Stay
Always a pleasure.
elevated.
Little man, break it down. Dangerous enough. Dangerous enough.
Hey, what's up, guys? Back to another episode of Elevated Thoughts with Keeks and Fiji.
Of course, episode 5, season 2, bigger, badder, stronger.
And here we're coming at you with Degeneration X.
Congratulations.
Getting inducted into Hall of Fame.
Congratulations. They are the main attraction for the 2019 Hall of Fame induction to the WWE.
I know you're a big wrestling fan. And
Hell
I know
yeah.
my girl's a big wrestling fan too. And I know a lot of other people that are big wrestling fans. So I know it's a big accomplishment for them hitting that.
Oh yeah, that's top 5 top factions of all times in wrestling. For sure, they kept that Attitude Era strong in the WWE, so
Yeah, man. Everybody knows that, right?
they definitely competed with the NWO at that time.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
DX.
NWO was pretty good though. That was fucking sick.
Yeah,
That was fucking sick.
And
I
but
love
you know
that.
what's funny too?
Oh, that was
The main
badass.
guys of the NWO, you know, you have Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
Yeah.
They're homies with Triple H. They have their own clique.
Well, it's all business.
Yeah,
homie.
it's all
You know,
business,
it's all
yeah.
business. You know, at the end of the day, they're all wrestlers. And you're all here to make money, right? I mean, this is what it is.
But I
right?
give them props because the same clique, they started that rivalry to where wrestling reaches peak. It's never going to reach that peak ever.
I don't know. That was the golden era.
Yeah, that was the
right?
golden era.
That was the golden
After
era. Dude,
that,
was
yeah,
like, dude, that
exactly.
toothpick, dude, like,
Razor Ramon, the
dude, that shit
shit,
was
Diesel,
the shit, bro.
you know, was the shit.
Yeah.
Triple H, the shit. Shawn Michaels, the shit.
Everybody, even Sting too, man. Back then, dude, like Sting was anti anything, dude. Like he was like, I'm doing my own
He
thing.
kept
bro.
himself, but you know
Right.
what? Congratulations to D-Generation X,
DX.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, the New Age Outlaws, and of course, China, the original.
All right, so that's our kind of honorable mention we're throwing out here because I know there's a lot of wrestling fans out there. But here we're coming at you with the And One segment. Today we're gonna be talking about the NBA All-Star Weekend. I mean, it was a pretty good, you know,
Yeah.
lineup of events. We're also gonna be talking about the AAF, possibly running out of funds on and on his inaugural season
Already
and
in
his
week
first
2.
week.
Yeah, second week.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, after the first week, it pretty much just was like, all right, I don't know
Terrible.
what to do
We're
now.
going to have a second week or what?
Are we even gonna have a second week? You know, but we'll let you know what happens with that. Fiji will let us know. We'll also be talking about the rivalries in sports, and especially the Duke and UNC game we had tonight going on.
Disappointment
Yeah,
today,
Zion
man.
Williamson
I'm a
ended
Duke
up getting
fan. I'm
hurt.
a Duke fan. I've been a Duke fan.
It would be a different game.
I actually traveled. I actually went. I've been on Duke University campus.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
why that's cool. You've been to also UNC?
No, I
Oh,
didn't
you
get a
went
chance to
you
go
went
UNC.
You went to NC State.
Duke, no, I just went. UNC State.
You went
Yes.
to NC State.
Phillip
and
Rivers,
Duke.
yeah.
No, it's cool. NC State. The Wolfpack too, right?
Yeah, Wolfpack. That's
Ooh.
one word. See, a lot of people don't know the difference between the Wolfpack
and
here
Wolfpack. It's two
in
words.
Nevada to the NC State one.
Yeah.
The one in NC State, Wolfpack is one word. Here, locally, Wolfpack is 2 words. So, whenever you guys put any social media post, Wolfpack this, Wolfpack pack that, here locally, remember, Wolfpack is 2 words, not 1.
Yeah. Hey, go Wolfpack.
Exactly.
And they're balling up.
Number
right now,
6
you know?
in the nation.
They're
Number
balling
6
up.
in the
Hey,
nation.
UNR, man.
Hey,
Killing it.
alumni right here, alumni. So,
But yeah, you know, we're also talking about, you know, we're not trying to. I don't even know, man. Just go Wolfpack. Dude. I don't
yeah,
even know
no
what to say,
Wolfpack.
man.
So we'll see.
We're not trying to go off course, but you know, when you say Wolfpack, man,
Yeah, it's just
God,
emotions,
dude.
man. It's just us
Come on,
being
man.
locals, man.
Yeah,
You know me,
you know?
going to school there. I went 5 years.
And loving sport.
Yeah.
Loving the sport of basketball. God,
You gotta keep that locality, you know. We don't talk
This
much
guy,
locality
hey,
here.
alumni, hey, yeah.
We don't touch much locality here. But
This
we
guy was
wanna
always
keep
the
it.
book smart guy.
Yeah.
man.
I try, you know, and thank you very much for providing me the best knowledge there in journalism, and I try to strive here when it comes to pursuing this career in journalism. You know, number 1 rule in journalism, of course, is seeking the truth,
And integrity, right?
and we try.
Integrity, I would assume
Exactly.
too, right? I mean,
It's truth.
integrity is one of the big.
It's just
things, right?
speaking the truth, always and forever. So moving on to our
And
one segment.
Yeah, we're talking about
So
the
NBA All-Star.
Weekend.
So did
Let's
you get
hear
a
it.
chance to watch it yourself there?
You know,
Keeks,
I had to
man? What's up?
work. You know, I'm a busy man.
Yeah, you know,
I
I
try
know
to
you're a
find
busy
time
guy.
to make this show.
You know,
I
you're
find time to edit this
You're a
show.
pops. You know, you do a lot.
I
here
find
for the
time
show.
to take my kids to school. I find
You
time
know?
to go to work. 2 jobs. I don't know. It's just, you know, I always find time, but I did not find time to watch the NBA All-Star Weekend.
But I did. And this when I was traveling to Eugene, Oregon. I loved the NBA All-Star Weekend. First
oh,
of
man,
all,
who doesn't?
I love.
It's a fun-filled weekend.
Did you get a chance to see all those
I
celebrities
saw
that went?
the highlights. I saw
Yeah,
the highlights.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw the highlights, but I didn't actually see it. But my favorite thing that I saw this weekend was that dunk over Shaquille O'Neal. I was like, woo! That boy is fucking bad.
Yeah.
That boy can fucking jump.
And this motherfucker, his name is Hamidou the Lau. He is a shooting guard from the Oklahoma City Thunder, who won the 2019 AT&T Slam Dunk Contest.
Oh man, that was a hell of a dunk. I mean, I saw the highlights of a lot of celebrities getting pulled out and having a good time getting dunked over, but
Well,
dude,
Quavo got dunked over.
J. Cole. I mean, it was
Shaq was out
what
there.
I saw from the highlights, it just seemed like a lot of obnoxious behavior, bringing people out. Like, oh yeah, let's dunk over let's dunk over LeBron James, or let's dunk over.
To me, right now, as of right now, the dunk contest is dead to me. I shut it off right after Diallo. I can't pronounce. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his last name. But after he made that dunk over Shaq, Dennis Smith Jr. He was right after in the final round. That's who he competed with in the final round.
You called
he kept missing.
You said he was gonna win it.
Yeah, I did call it, but at the same time, he kept fucking up. He kept fucking up.
Don't fuck up.
Exactly. At the end of the day, if you know you're gonna join the contest,
go full
practice.
Force. Go full force. Dude.
So according to David Glenn of The Athletic, the AAF needed a $250 million investment from a certain someone.
And who was that?
That certain someone came from the Carolina Hurricanes majority ownership, and his name is Tom Dundon.
So the NHL pretty much came and bailed out the AAF, huh?
Pretty much. And what he said about this investment, and I quote, "The play here is to have a great football league in the offseason that gives opportunity to players."
To showcase their talents for the NFL?
Yep.
Because that's where the money's at, right? That's what he's
Exactly.
pretty much saying, right?
To coaches, players, referees, and to technology and innovation of the sport. To me, the majority owner of the Carolina Hurricanes of the NHL, to me, our job is to give an opportunity to people to work on their craft. What he's talking about, the AAF, the football players there. Obviously, football is pretty popular. This keeps football around for the people who want more football. And it's definitely not replacing the NFL, end quote.
Well, I got this one little thing on my laptop here, too. Steve Spurrier, actually, he owns an Orlando AAF team.
Yeah.
That is relocating to Georgia.
Yeah.
And he's still keeping Orlando.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy, man.
Well, because
it feels like this league is kind of just like the Wild West right now.
Ricky Dink.
It's the Wild West. Everybody's just kind of doing
whoever wants to pay top dollar, right?
Pretty much, you know. And so like that's why them getting built out, I feel it's like it's a good movement for, especially like you say, in the off season.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to watch football when it's not freezing cold?
When the NFL,
right,
when the NFL is not on.
Who doesn't want to watch football in the spring? You know.
I love football. You can tell by this football right here on the set. I love football. Football to me is life. And
yeah, this guy's a fucking beast out there.
During the off season, I want to watch something to keep me entertained when it comes to throwing this football. And the AAF is great. I can't wait till the XFL starting next season. However, AAF football is still continuing because of the majority owner of the Carolina Hurricanes investing $250 million, making him a majority chairman owner of this league.
And we're gonna finish it off with the rivalry weekend. UNC versus Duke.
Disappointing game today.
I mean, here we are on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
The game just finished. We just got to finish it and watched it. And it was upsetting 88-72 finish. North Carolina beating Duke at home.
And the Tobacco Road Hill rivalry, to where these guys are just pretty much, they're in the same territory. I had a chance to go visit Duke University, but they're both located in North Carolina. What separates them is just Tobacco Road. And this rivalry is one of the greatest rivalries of all time. However, is it the greatest rivalry game of all time?
Baila conmigo, mujer, que la noche solamente comienza. En tu mirada puedo ver lo que piensas. Una belleza más. Baila conmigo.
away segment where we're going to be talking about Manny Machado and his $300 million 10-year contract with the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, he got away from the Dodgers for sure. You know, he chased the money. You know, 10 years, $300
Do you blame
million.
the guy? Do you blame the guy?
No, not at all. As much as I'm a Dodger fan, as you all know, I'm a Dodger fan, hardcore Dodger fan.
But you knew you weren't going to keep him.
But I knew we were going to keep him because of the fact that as a Dodger, he played shortstop.
And you
know?
have plenty of
Yeah,
position players that
shortstop,
can play shortstop.
that belongs to Corey Seager.
Yeah.
Third base is Justin Turner.
No, I know.
So when they come back healthy,
I'm not a Giants fan, but I just know baseball. So
when they come back healthy, where's Manny Machado gonna play? So he knew he was a 1 year rental or half a year rental when he signed with the Dodgers. So he knew.
I think he should have stayed in the American League.
You know,
that's what I think.
I think to me, he should have stayed, been a team player with the Dodgers. However, whatever.
No, I think he should have stayed in the American League before he even got to the Dodgers.
We're all trying to get paid over here, and this guy definitely chased the money and got paid.
Well, what is he on the top 5+1, right?
Yeah,
He's
he was number 3 on my list.
So he got paid. That
Yeah.
motherfucker got money. He's over there telling the LA Laker players, like, hey, homie, you want what's up? I got
Go
you,
ahead.
Chad. Don't worry about that.
He's gonna average for the next 10 years. He's gonna average $30 million.
Shit, $30 million a year?
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
you're set for the rest of your life.
Hey, but although our beer and spirit connoisseur, Sean, threw out a fact to us earlier, and he said that comparatively, baseball players make less money because they work more for their money.
Yeah.
So even though they're making $30 million a year, they're working way more than NFL or NBA players too.
But they spend a lot of time and the season stretches out.
That's what I'm saying though. But they're working way more for their money.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's why they get paid that much amount. Because of the fact that they have to put in their time and effort to contribute.
I don't know though. But we were talking about, what about James Harden though? Okay, so James Harden, I got a little fact here. James Harden is making $37.8 million next year on his 4-year extension that we talked about, the top 5+1, right? And the following year he's making $40.8. The following year he's making $43.8. And then the last year of that extension he's making $46.8. So now you tell me how these numbers compare to $30 million a year.
Well, think about it. Look, check it out.
In 4
NBA
years,
players,
in 4
NBA
years.
players, and MLB players, they have that ability to play their respective sports all year. To where in football,
Oh, we didn't even mention football
Yeah.
in the top 5+1. You know, that's
Football-
the worst sport to play. I'm telling you.
Football to
as
me-
far as money.
football to me should be coughing up the money to play these players as much as they're paid.
But they're pocketing in this money. So,
Exactly.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, I mean, and they're letting it happen. They're blatantly robbing these players of money while everybody else is making money.
And that's why Le'Veon Bell did what he did. That's why Antonio Brown is doing what he's doing right now.
Because they
they
acknowledge
know.
that the Steelers are fucking them over.
They know what's going on there. But that's another topic for another show.
We'll bring
that
it
we're
up.
gonna get
We'll bring it
into.
up. Yeah.
And I know when it comes to this sports season, now that the NFL's over, it's a slow season. So we'll have plenty of opportunities.
Nah, we got baseball coming, baby. Ooh,
Yeah,
it's coming
yeah.
at you like a tornado.
It's slow.
Go Giants, baby.
It's
Yeah.
slow. You know, it's slow for sure. So we'll get to that to another show. But the one that got away,
Manny Machado, $300 million.
now that he got signed, what?
Bryce Harper is gonna sign for
Yeah.
$301 million.
Bring in the one, huh? Yeah.
He's gonna be like, hey, you know what? I'm better than Manny Machado because I think Bryce Harper is better. I'd rather have Bryce Harper than Manny Machado on my team.
I agree. But at the end of the day, after Manny Machado being signed for that amount, does Bryce Harper get more than him?
He should.
But
He's
who's
better
going to
player.
sign him for that amount?
The White Sox kind of got like cold shouldered by Manny Machado. So
Yeah.
You never know. They might come in and swoop up Bryce
You know,
Harper.
I hear reports where the Giants are still involved.
Yeah, I heard the Giants were there. They had 2 million
But-
with them actually, but
But
at the same time, you know,
the biggest team
we
right
got
now.
the money for it. We got the money.
biggest team right now who can sign him, who's willing to give up those
Who
type
can
of
sign him
funds?
to?
The Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's really up to Bryce Harper what he wants to do. I mean, he has the opportunity to drive his future any way he wants to. So, to me,
Hey, he's young.
he's gonna sign over $300 million.
He's
because
gotta have at least.
if Manny
300 mil.
Machado could sign for that, at least give him $350.
Dude, he's gonna jump up to number 2 on the top
Yeah,
contracts.
he ain't gonna
Biggest
beat no
contracts of all
Canelo
time.
Alvarez for sure.
It might, maybe.
But
375.
maybe.
375. If you push 375,
No.
he's gonna be Canelo.
How about if Canelo gets 365, Bryce Harper gets 366?
Or whatever. by one, right?
366 by
Whatever.
one.
375.
Yeah.
Make it a solid, you know,
Yeah.
decimal, you know, or denomination, right? By 25s.
Yeah.
375. Bam. Fuck it. 400. Hit the 400, dude.
Yeah.
Do the 400.
This guy could really gonna
Right?
get paid, maybe.
Dude, Bryce Harper's the shit, dude. I would love for the Giants to sign him for a 12-year
Hey,
contract,
hey.
400 mil, dude.
Hey, guess where Bryce Harper's from?
The Bay Area.
Nope.
Where?
The Battleborn State
Where's he
of
from?
Nevada, but in Vegas. He's from Vegas.